What is good, everybody? It's your boy That King Boo, and I'm back at it again with some more gaming news. Today is March 8th, 2026. And in today's news, we are going to be discussing Sony. And Sony has stated that they're not going to be putting any of their exclusives on PC anymore. And I wonder why. They say that, oh, it'll hurt sales, which you can see right here in the title here. But honestly, I think it's because the new Xbox is going to be running Steam. And they are intimidated by that because they don't want to really have to compete, because let's keep it a buck. Sony has amazing exclusives. Xbox doesn't, right? So with Xbox getting access, or with the new Xbox getting access to Steam, they'll be able to play those PlayStation exclusives. And honestly, I think that's why they're doing what they're doing now, because they are scared. And I think it's unfair because Xbox has already given Sony exclusives. Like, they gave them Gears of War already. They gave them Forza and other games. They're giving them Halo as well. So I don't really see the reason why Sony is so scared, because I mean, as far as console wars, which I mean, there's still a console war, even though people say there isn't, and they make all these jokes and stuff like that. Y'all are kings right now as far as consoles. So for them to be doing this is kind of strange. But anyway, let's get into this article. This article is brought to you by IGN, and the title says, Sony has reportedly returned to console exclusivity in part because some within PlayStation are worried that releasing games on PC may hurt sales of PS5 and even PS6. Okay. A news report has revealed that both Ghost of Yotei and Soros has remained exclusive to PS5 as Sony begins to pull back from PC. Bloomberg said that while Sony will continue to release online games on PC, single-player games will now remain console exclusives, making a significant strategy shift. Sony has a strategy of releasing its PlayStation games on PC sometime after they hit console. This new policy marks a return to console exclusivity at a time when console rival Microsoft is all in on multi-platform. Told you. So expect to see fighting game Marvel Token on PC as well as PS5, and of course Bungie's extraction shooter Marathon remains a multi-platform release. Meanwhile, the Sony published by externally developed Death Stranding 2 and Kenya's Scars of Cosmora will launch on PC, but plans to release Sucker Punch Ghost of Yotei were recently scrapped, Bloomberg says. Bloomberg suggested poor recent sales of PlayStation games on PC and the risk to the PlayStation brand, as well as potential impact on PS5 and maybe even PS6 sales. Where were to blame for the policy shift? Okay. Meanwhile, Bloomberg suggested the prospect of PlayStation games running on the next Xbox, which looks like it will run PC games, may have also encouraged Sony's return to console exclusivity. I honestly think this is more of what they're worried about right here. This is what they're more worried about right here, right? Because if like, this is objective, everybody. If we look at the base PS5 and we look at Xbox Series X is a stronger console. So say with the new Xbox that will be releasing in 2028 or wherever they decide to release it, and it's stronger than PlayStation, has better graphics, yada yada yada, and it also runs Steam, that is dangerous, because people will look at this and say, well, as far as consoles, Xbox runs games better and it has Steam. PlayStation 6 does not have Steam and it doesn't run games as well. I'll basically go get the Xbox because I have Xbox exclusives and I'll have your exclusives too because they're coming out on Steam, because I have access to all these other platforms as well. And that could potentially put Sony and / PlayStation in, some type of danger and they'll lose money. That's what I think that's what this shit is mainly about. They see the potential danger and they're just basically adjusting accordingly right now. Let's keep reading. There's no mention of Marvel's Wolverine in the reports, but given the timing of its release, it's due out on PS5 exclusively this September. A PC launch now seems unlikely. Sony has in recent years expanded PlayStation to PC, but refrained from going as far as Microsoft, which released all its games on PC at the same time as console. Sony, however, has employed a staggered approach, releasing its single-player PlayStation games on PC after a period of console exclusivity. When it comes to live service games like Helldivers 2, it's a different story, with Sony pushing on PC day one, and in the case of Arrowhead's third-person action games, to record-breaking success. Indeed, Sony-owned Bungie is about to launch live service extraction shooter Marathon across PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S at the same time. Guerrilla's live service multiplayer Horizon spinoff, Hunter's Gathering. It's worth noting recent reports that Sony may have to delay the release of the PS6 to 2028 or even 2029 as a result of the AI-fueled chip crisis. In January, an analyst report suggested that Sony may push the launch of the PS6 beyond 2028 and lengthen the PS5 life cycle. David Gibson, senior analyst at MST International, who focuses on games and tech companies, predicted that rising memory prices will not impact short-term performance thanks to Sony's existing inventory. However, he noted that increased memory costs could become an issue for Sony in the next fiscal year, ending in March 2027, saying Sony might pass future cost increases onto the customers, which all companies do this. Okay. With that in mind, doubling down on PS5 as the home of exclusive games may help reinforce the console's value for PlayStation fans and encourage sales. Last month, Sony announced the shock closure of Bluepoint Games, which, I'm pissed off about that shit. I did a video on that. The studio behind the remakes of both Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls. Sony still operates PC port specialist Nixus software, which it bought in 2021. They'll probably shut that bitch down too. Okay, that is the end of the article. Honestly, like I stated before, I think Sony is just more afraid of like the new Xbox coming out, and it's coming out having access to Steam and running their games. I think they're more afraid of that because of course that's going to hurt their console sales, not their game sales. Not like them people buying their exclusive game. That's going to hurt their console sales, because if I can go get an Xbox that is around the same price or a little bit higher, that can run Xbox, Steam, which has your game, Epic Games, and all these other multi-platforms, why do I need a PS5 or a PS6 of that matter? Why do I need it? Right? I think that's what they're more afraid of. They're just basically trying to get ahead of this shit. That's all they're really trying to do, guys. But yeah, that will be it for this video. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to Tap that notification bell in order to stay up to date on my content. And as I always say, stay safe and take care of one another. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.